Sadao Maou was the terrifying demon lord Satan until the hero Emilia kicked him through a portal and he crash-landed in modern Tokyo. Stripped of his powers and demon army, Mao now battles the real enemy, rent and groceries. His new evil plan? Climb the corporate ladder at MgRonald's. Between slinging fries, bickering with Emilia, and fending off stray supernatural chaos, this ex-demon king finds himself acting more like a hero than he'd like to admit. The story kicks off in classic fantasy style. You've got the Great Sea of Ignora, 5 islands, and right in the middle sits Ente Isla, a place so special the gods themselves peek in from time to time. Problem is, this little paradise is ruled by Satan. Yep, the big bad himself, king of all demons, with his trusty 4 generals, Adramelech, Lucifer, Malakota, and Alciel. Together, they stomped all over the humans on the outer islands, spreading chaos and racking up a terrifying reputation. But, like in every good RPG, humanity had an ace up its sleeve, the hero. With her allies, she started wiping out Satan's forces, pushing them back until all that was left was Satan and Alciel holed up in Ente Isla. Cue the climactic showdown, and just when things were getting spicy, Satan dips out. He promises he'll be back for round 2, but instead of regrouping in some dark castle, he and Alciel tumble straight into another world. Now, here's the kicker. The other world is none other than modern-day Tokyo. Instead of dark flames and horns of terror, Satan and Alciel pop up looking like ordinary dudes with zero magic. Talk about a downgrade. They're confused, injured, and rocking some suspicious outfits, which gets the attention of a couple of police officers. The cops figure they're just some weird cosplayers who got lost on the way to Comiket. Alciel, desperate to keep up his Dark Lord vibes, tries to throw out a spell at the cops, but nothing happens. Yeah, embarrassing. The two end up at the police station, where Satan's handed a bowl of katsudan. Not exactly world domination, but hey, fried pork cutlet over rice heals the soul. Using what little magic he can muster, Satan scans the officer's brain to learn more about this strange new world. After a few hiccups and some laughs at Alciel stuffing his face, the pair manage to wrangle fake IDs, a bank account, and even a sketchy little apartment. Their new landlady, Miki Shiba, immediately gives them the creeps. But hey, a roof's a roof. Fast forward a bit, and the mighty Demon King is no longer plotting destruction. He's pedaling a bike to his part-time job at MgRonald's. That's right, Satan is now Mao, a fast food worker with big dreams of climbing the corporate ladder. One rainy day, he bumps into a young woman without an umbrella and chivalrously offers her his. It seems like a small gesture, but she's definitely intrigued. Meanwhile, at work, Mao takes his job seriously, swearing he'll smash the sales record for black pepper fries. His dedication doesn't go unnoticed. Chiho, his sweet coworker, is absolutely charmed by how humble and hardworking he is. While Mao's flipping burgers, Alciel, now going by Shiro, is stuck in the library, stressing over magic and researching how they might regain their powers. He's dead loyal to Mao and vows to follow him no matter what, but he can't help grumbling that their current gig barely pays rent. Then, an earthquake hits. Mao, on break with Chiho, tries to comfort her while fries hit the floor in slow-motion tragedy. The manager, Kisaki, bursts in to remind everyone to give 100% because customers are swarming in. Mao sees the fryers busted and seriously considers using magic to fix it, but Kisaki interrupts before he can pull the trigger. After all that chaos, Mao's bummed they didn't hit number 1-inch sales. Chiho tries cheering him up, but he's still sulking until he gets called into Kisaki's office. Bracing for punishment, Mao instead learns he's been promoted to A-level staff. From Demon Lord to Employee of the Month. What a glow-up. Overjoyed, he bikes home, soaking in his newfound success. But the high doesn't last long. The woman he gave the umbrella to earlier suddenly steps out of the shadows. She coolly declares she knows who he really is. Mao freezes, realizing the truth. She's Emilia, the hero who chased him out of Ente Isla. Mao, the once-feared Dark Lord, is minding his own MgRonald's business when he runs smack into Emilia the hero, who literally chased him out of Ente Isla. Instead of clashing swords, she's waving around a cheap 100-yen store knife. Mao can't help pointing it out, and Emilia's instant embarrassment is priceless. She tries to attack anyway, but before anything spicy happens, the cops show up. And, in the most awkward twist, the officer mistakes them for a couple going through a messy breakup. Mao's amused, Emilia's mortified. After fuming about it, Emilia storms off, declaring she'll remember Mao's address and deal with him later. Mao, being petty, just wants his umbrella back, but she casually drops that she threw it out. Cold. The next day, we see Emilia, now Emmy, trying to live her best working girl life as a call service rep, stocking up on toilet paper, and grumbling about how she might end up as sad and ordinary as her nemesis. Meanwhile, back at Casa Satan, Mao and Alciel are enjoying dinner when Emmy shows up banging on the door. Shiro immediately locks it like a nervous raccoon and asks Mao what to do. Mao casually drops, "Oh yeah, I totally ran into her the other day. Forgot to mention it." Eventually, Emmy barges in and roasts both their tiny apartment and their dinner like Gordon Ramsay on a bad day. The three talk, and Emmy reveals that High Priest Olba almost followed her into this world but didn't make it. Mao, in contrast, proudly declares he's not scheming to conquer Japan through blood and fire. No, his master plan is to climb the corporate ladder at MgRonald's, become full-time staff, and then conquer everything. Honestly, it's the most relatable villain plan ever. Emmy's half horrified, half disappointed, and storms out, promising she could kill him, but then she'd never make it home. She also throws shade at his human name, which just adds insult to injury. At her job, Emmy's coworker Rika teases her about having a boyfriend, which she vehemently denies. But we all know she's spending way too much time watching Mao. Case in point, she stalks him and Shiro on their serious quest, which turns out to be buying discount eggs. Later, she sees them heading to a bath, assumes it's some bloodbath ritual, but nope, they're literally trying to get to a bathhouse before it closes. The stalking continues at home, where she witnesses Mao mixing cucumbers and honey to make fake watermelon. This guy really is a menace to culinary society. Eventually, Emmy confronts Mao at his job and tells him to meet her at their first encounter. Mao, still fully in MgRonald's employee mode, handles it with customer service politeness, which drives her nuts. Chiho, Mao's coworker, notices all this and straight up asks if Emmy's his girlfriend. Mao just vaguely says they have history, which makes Chiho jealous. The conversation goes off the rails into earthquakes, roommates, and weird misunderstandings until Chiho finally relaxes after learning Shiro isn't some mysterious lover. Later that night, Mao meets Emmy, who bluntly asks if he plans to stay in this world forever. He's like, "Nah, I'll conquer Japan someday." Cue the universe dunking on him again, because his bike gets attacked by some mysterious enemy. After barely escaping with Emmy, she sheepishly asks if she can crash at his place. Mao agrees, while Shiro looks like his soul just left his body. As if that's not enough, Mao then gets a mysterious text warning of more earthquakes to come. So, Emmy crashes at Mao and Shiro's place for the night, leaves behind some pickled veggies as a "thanks for letting me sleep here, but I still hate you" gift, and bounces. She even drops off their apartment key, like the responsible frenemy she is. Later, while lounging at home, she sees a news broadcast showing Mao and Shiro near the crime scene from their recent attack. To make things juicier, the next story covers a string of robberies around the neighborhood, where Mao and Chiho both work. Yep, drama brewing on all fronts. Meanwhile, Chiho is busy getting hyped about her totally not a date, but absolutely a date in her mind, meet up with Mao. Over on Emmy's side, her coworker Rika keeps trying to get her to grab food together, but Emmy's stubborn streak says no. Just when Rika pushes again, Emmy's phone rings. The caller? A creepy, distorted voice that calls her by her real name and title. Big red flag. It straight up warns her that she and Mao are destined to die because that's the will of Ente Isla. Emmy flips out, demands to know who it is, and click. Call over. Ghosted by a demon. Before Emmy can change her mind and go eat with Rika, she gets dragged to the police station to act as Mao's guarantor because apparently he needs her ID to get his bike back. Emmy grumbles. Mao teases, and before they part ways, she tells him about the death threat call. Mao, being Mao, just shrugs it off, while Emmy's like, "No, seriously, stop joking about this." Meanwhile, Chiho is at home, prepping for her meet-up cute outfit, nerves skyrocketing. On the other end, Mao's shopping with Shiro, which is less fashionable makeover and more budget crisis management. Eventually, Mao and Chiho meet in the city center. They compliment each other's outfits, awkward blushes included, hold hands at Chiho's insistence, and stroll to Café d'Autour. Totally a date. But wait, plot twist. Emmy bumps into Shiro, and when she realizes Mao's on a date, she practically combusts. Shiro explains what's going on, and Emmy, being Emmy, decides to crash it. Shiro's horrified, but Emmy's already analyzing Chiho like she's Sherlock Holmes with eyeliner. Inside the cafe, Chiho opens up about her tinnitus. It's not just ringing ears, it's escalated into hearing weird foreign voices warning about earthquakes. Mao's face goes from concerned boss to, oh no, nonsense again. Just then, Emmy and Shiro enter and sit at the next table, separated by a glass pane. Mao Mao spots Emmy and does a spit take that nearly floods the cafe. Chiho's about to confess her feelings when Emmy cuts in with a savage warning. He's not who you think he is. Chiho instantly clocks Emmy as that angry woman from the other day and assumes she's Mao's jealous ex. Cue the drama. Chiho versus Emmy, sparks flying. But before it can turn into Real Housewives of McDonald's, the ground shakes. A massive earthquake wrecks everything, trapping Chiho and Emmy together. Stuck under rubble, the two finally drop their claws and talk. Emmy asks why Chiho loves Mao. Chiho blushes, dodges, but Emmy's not fooled. Chiho flips the question, asking if Emmy's really Mao's enemy. Emmy admits she is, and doubles down on her warning that Mao's not what he seems. Then she uses her remaining magic to put Chiho to sleep so she won't panic. And just when Emmy's ready to go full hero mode, Mao shows up transformed into his old devil form. But instead of fighting, he declares he's going to use his power to rescue earthquake victims. Emmy's brain short-circuits because what kind of devil saves people instead of conquering them? The aftermath of the earthquake is pure chaos. Collapsed highways, panicked crowds, and news choppers buzzing in the sky. In the middle of the mess, Emmy zones out, remembering her childhood with her dad, Nord. Back then, life was all cozy and innocent, until the Church of Ente Isla showed up like an unwanted pop quiz. They dragged her away, declaring she was the chosen hero because she was half angel, half human, and had the power to take down Satan himself. Cool title, sure, but it also meant saying goodbye to her dad forever. And just to rub salt in the wound, Demon General Lucifer went and wiped out the demon army days later. Yeah, rough childhood. Fast forward to the present, and Mao, back in his more human form, checks up on Emmy while Chi joins the reunion. A cop then strolls up and recognizes Chi as the daughter of Shinichi, the same guy Mao magically adjusted when he and Shiro first popped into this world. Mao instantly realizes, oh snap, the spell he cast must have caused Chi to hear those creepy voices. And because nothing's ever simple, he also deduces that the whole earthquake was basically an assassination attempt meant to squash them. Emmy's like, great, love that for us. Then Shiro waddles in, all dramatic, bowing and begging Mao to forgive him for his past screw-ups. Cue Mao awkwardly sighing, like a dad who's just tired of the drama. Later that night, Emmy hangs out at her coworker Rika's place for dinner, enjoying a normal meal for once. But of course, deep conversations happen. Rika shares how she grew up in Kobe and dealt with earthquakes as a kid, and she even teases that Emmy seems conflicted about something. Emmy plays it cool, but yeah, her mind is definitely running circles around Mao's recent good deeds. Meanwhile, Mao and Shiro have their own comedy routine interrupted by some cops who literally mistake them for a struggling stand-up duo. One officer even admits he wanted to be an actor, but failed. Ouch. Still, he warns them about a mugger terrorizing the area, which adds yet another headache to their already cursed week. Back at Rika's, Emmy takes a bath, while her friend watches the news about the robber's 7th victim. While soaking, Emmy can't stop thinking, is this how Mao felt when he chose to save all those earthquake victims, even though he's supposed to be the bad guy? Talk about confusing feelings. The next day, Emmy swings by Mao's apartment to repay him the 1,000 yen she borrowed. But instead of leaving like a normal person, she sticks around to pester him, learning that Shiro's still in trauma mode after yesterday's mess. After some bickering because that's their love language, Emmy storms out, only to trip on the stairs and injure herself. Mao immediately rushes to help and sends Shiro to grab supplies. Left alone, Emmy snaps at Mao, accusing him of being too nice, especially considering he's the Devil King who killed her dad. Mao, surprisingly, apologizes, admitting that back then, he didn't understand humans at all. Big character growth moment. But then, drama cranks up to 11. Chi walks in with Shiro, sees Emmy and Mao together, and instantly misreads the situation, cue the tears, and speedy exit. Before anyone can chase her, their landlady, Mickey, strolls in, drops the bomb that Chi is tied to the recent earthquakes, thanks to a sonar link, and casually tells Mao he better take responsibility and meet Chi at the train station. Oh, and by the way, two of Emmy's old allies, Emeralda and Albert, are making their way through the gate. No pressure. Meanwhile, Chi has her own emotional meltdown. She realizes she's in love with Mao, but before she can deal with those feelings, a mysterious young man shows up, promising to use her despair to unleash chaos greater than Mao ever did. Then, because dramatic flair is required, he sprouts black wings and blows up a building like it's just another Tuesday. Emeralda and Albert finally make it through the gate, and Albert immediately ruins the dramatic entrance entrance by puking into a bag. Real classy. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Emmy nearly has a heart attack when she sees Lucifer chilling like nothing happened. Last she checked, she literally killed him with her holy sword. Turns out he's alive, thanks to his shady new best friends forever, Olba Meyer, one of the 6 sketchy high priests from the church. Mao instantly calls out their plan as a B-movie plot, which honestly sounds funny until Shiro nervously points out they can't even afford to watch a B-movie right now. Before the insults can really fly, Lucifer decides to speed things up with a flashy barrage of magic blasts, forcing the crew to scatter. The big mystery? Why the heck does Lucifer have so much magic juice? Mao figures it out. Lucifer's been absorbing negative energy from cranky convenience store employees. Yep, Satan's general is basically powered by retail misery. Mao pieced it together back during the tunnel collapse, when he accidentally sucked up some spare bad vibes himself. Lucifer, impressed, admits Mao's right, but throws in a nasty twist. He's using Qi as his personal energy battery. That doesn't sit well with anyone, and the fight kicks into overdrive. Mao takes a hit to the shoulder. Olba sneaks in a cheap shot to his leg with a gun, and suddenly things look really bad. With the last of his strength, Mao teleports everyone out, only for Lucifer to immediately find them again and blast a hole through Mao's chest. Things get worse when Lucifer casually drops Qi from the sky like she's yesterday's trash. Luckily, Emmy catches her, though she wrecks her knees doing it. And then, to really up the stakes, Lucifer takes out the entire bridge hanging over them. But plot twist, Mao isn't done yet. He transforms into his full Satan form, uses his newly charged up powers, and literally holds up the collapsing bridge to keep Emmy and Qi safe. Qi wakes up mid-chaos and sees Mao in his true form, and let's just say her world just got flipped upside down. Mao tells Emmy to handle Lucifer while he holds the bridge, so Emmy powers up into her hero form, shining bright with angelic energy. To make sure she's not interrupted, Mao even sets up a barrier that knocks out the surrounding crowd except for Qi, who gets the VIP front row seat to all this madness. The Emmy versus Lucifer showdown is intense. Shiro manages to recover enough to jump in and back her up, while Olba tries to sneak in a gunshot only for Emmy to zap the weapon right out of his hand. Lucifer yells at Olba for being useless. Olba yells back about conserving magic, but eventually, Olba caves and joins the fight only to get smacked down anyway. Teamwork really isn't their thing. Finally, Mao sets the bridge down gently, tells Qi he'll teach her how to use the ice cream machine later, then casually walks over and obliterates Lucifer with one punch. That's the end of the recap. Let us know if you want part 2 by leaving a comment in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to avoid being virgin forever. See you guys in the next video.